Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Creeping It Colorful. And today is Backgrounds on a Budget, where I try to test out things you could use from either everyday life or from cheaper stores and cheaper products to see if they work as almost, if not better than some of the brand names that are in the coloring world. Okay, so I have two charts here. Don't mind my mess up here. I had to add chalk down below. But today we're going to test in each of these columns things that you could or might use for backgrounds. And I was thinking about trying to stay in the crayon group for this month of different things to use on backgrounds with crayons, because crayons aren't expensive at all, and things you could do with crayons to make different effects. So I was wondering if you had the experience when you were a child growing up and Easter came around and you were going to color Easter eggs, and you thought that this part of coloring Easter eggs was magical. It was a magical crayon, or not a real crayon, but something really magical, a very special crayon. And it happens to be the white crayon. And do you remember when you would color on your egg, little designs on your eggs, dip it in the dye, and it would magically appear, whatever you drew with this white crayon on your egg? Well, I was thinking about, what if we could do that with the background on our coloring pages sometimes? Like today I'm going to just draw snowflakes on here and see how each one of these in these categories reacts to the white crayon, whether it shows through just magically like it did on an Easter egg. So I have a regular piece of copy paper here and a regular cardstock. Made sure I had papers that weren't shiny like I was using before, and could replicate some of the thicknesses of the papers and pages we have in our coloring books. So I will color with this crayon. I will color across the board. I'll do snowflake on each one, and you're not going to see a thing. It's going to be magic. Of course, if you tilt the page a little bit, you'll be able to see. But I wanted to see if I could create that same magic we had way back. Now, I know I should have left this with next month's, which is going to be using Easter egg kits, coloring kits each week, to see how we could use them in our backgrounds. That is my goal, because they're not expensive at all. They're a way of coloring, a way of doing things differently. I know they have foil colors, and they have tie-dye, and I know it's using vinegar with these tablets to create the dye colors that we dip our eggs into. So I'm going to use that because, like, I'm thinking that we could use that to paint if we don't have watercolor. But we'll get to that next month. Okay, I know Easter isn't until April, so maybe it won't be until April. I'm not sure yet. Maybe half of next month and half of April. But we'll see. Okay, now to get to our magic. Now I have an alcohol marker here. It's Artist Loft. It's not really a brand name, but it is a alcohol marker nonetheless. Now we'll see Do I have you guys down? Yeah, I have you guys as close as you're going to get from my camera. We'll see what happens when we go over it with an alcohol marker. And look at that. It somewhat works there. It makes it gray, but it does show through. Now we'll do an acrylic marker. And it's water-based acrylic marker. And we'll try that over the same area and see if it does anything with an acrylic marker. Acrylic marker looks like a bust. You can still see it faintly, but not like you would really want it to. Now we'll do a metallic marker. Let's see what we have with a metallic marker. Nope, still not showing through good. This is a super tip. See if we get some magic from the super tip, and looks like it's repelling with a super tip. I think you just need to color your crayon just a little darker, maybe. Okay, now we have watercolor, and I have Artisto watercolor paint set here. I'm going to use that. Okay, got my pen thing here. I'm going to go into the purple, plain purple, and see what happens with the watercolor. Ooh, it works nicely with watercolor. Really shows through. Look at that. And you could do any designs. I just decided to do something simple like a snowflake. The gel sticks. I have a gel stick. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to wet the end like this. Get some of that gel stick on there. And then go over it. Oh, you can see it through a gel stick. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. Gotta clean my tip there. Put that away for now because we're going to go over to the other side and do that. Now I just don't, this isn't really, this is a crazy art pencil, so it's a cheap pencil, but we can still see what happens. No, it's not that prominent. I mean, it does show through a little bit, but not a lot. Okay, now I have chalk. So I'm going to take, I'll take this color since we haven't used that yet. Put that on there. Use my handy dandy tool known as my, look at that, it makes it, actually makes it darker. Doesn't repel the color. It actually just makes the snowflake darker. So we have alcohol marker, acrylic marker, metallic marker, super tips, watercolor, gel sticks, colored pencils, and chalk. That you really can't see the color of the chalk. It's like a peach color, but it actually made it darker. So you can do the opposite effect with that. Like if maybe you want to draw clouds and that'll make the outline. That would probably work with chalk. Okay, that was with a very thick cardstock type. Now we'll do it with regular paper. And we'll see what we can get with regular paper. I don't know if it's going to make too much of a difference. Not much difference there. Acrylic markers next. Other than it probably bleeds through. Nope, don't even bleed through. Okay, now we got to do metallic. That just makes it darker. Super tips. That shows up pretty good. I went a little heavier on this paper, I think. Watercolor. Back to the watercolor here. Get that purple going. you go. You can see it repelled it and still kept the color on the outside. Gel stick coming up. I just had to clean my brush there, sorry. I'm going to do the gel stick next. You can see it through it. All right. And the last one is colored pencil here on this column, and then I'm going to go down and do the chalk. I guess it depends on your paper. Look at that. Showing through a little bit better with the pencil. Now we're going to go down here in the corner here, and I'm going to do the chalk one. Get out my chalk. I'm going to try this color. And bring them up to you. Alcohol marker, acrylic marker, metallic marker, super tips, watercolor. She used darker colors. Gel stick, colored pencil, and the chalk. Okay, here's what we're going to summarize this a little bit and to let you know what would work and what wouldn't work. I say no to alcohol marker, no to acrylic marker. Now see, on the cardstock, it seems to be coming out a little bit better on some of them. I guess it depends the kind of effect that you want to achieve. If you want to go in and you just really don't want to do it a second time, and you want to, like, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do, what could I use? I will use the metallic marker here because it shows it goes darker. And say you want to make, I'm just going to make this. I'm going to make a smiley face on here. And see, it comes out, but it doesn't come out totally. If you wanted to go and you're trying to do something that this shows differently for some reason than that one does. And I don't know why, it's the same marker. This one made it look darker. Like if you wanted to put clouds in the sky and you just wanted to do, you wanted to make the clouds in the sky more prominent, but you wanted to color the whole page and not have to worry about redoing it, you could probably do clouds. That was just the outline of a cloud. Things like that. Okay, let's move along here. Super Tips looks like it really is a winner in this category. Watercolor does well. Gel sticks do well. Colored pencils are iffy. Maybe it depends on the colored pencil you used. I used a cheapy one. And chalk has the reverse effect where it makes it darker. It doesn't stand out as a white drawing. It actually made the color a lot darker than what that is. So you could also use it in that kind of an effect. I hope this helps you be a little more creative and step out of your comfort zone, or take a shortcut in doing something, or having you test the waters of adding to your backgrounds your own type of creativeness with, maybe you're adding raindrops, or maybe you're adding snowflakes, or maybe you want to put a squiggly line here or there. You want to put rays around a moon or a sun, I shouldn't say moon, a sunshine, put rays coming out. Or if you're coloring water and you want to make little ripples of white for waves. Anything you can think of that would benefit you and help you be more creative, that would be great, wouldn't it? And you wouldn't have to break the bank to do it. All you need is that magical crayon you had as a child while you were when you were coloring your Easter eggs. Who'd have thunk it? Later on in life, you might be using it in a coloring book. But I hope you like this idea I had today. I'm glad to share the results with you and challenge myself and challenge yourself and have fun with it. That's all you need to do is have fun with it. Nobody says you have to try this. Nobody says you have to make a snowflake and make it look beautiful in it. You do you. And however you want to do this, I hope I get to see people trying this on their backgrounds. That would be awesome. Yeah, it would make me actually feel like I'm doing something worthwhile here and not just flapping my gums, which I'm pretty gosh darn good at. But like I said, give it a try. I mean, you could test it on the papers. They always have test papers in some, not always. In some of the books, they have test papers. Take one of those squares and test what you thought you were going to use for a background. Try it out. I mean, it's not going to harm anything, right? It's worth a try. Something new, something different, something I haven't seen used here yet. So I was kind of a little bit proud of myself for finding that out. And watch now, somebody will say, well, 8 years ago, there was a YouTube video. I was like, ah. But anywho, please give me a thumbs up if you like my content. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you in our little community. A little budget-friendly community at that. And stay creative, stay happy, stay healthy, and a little creepy. And stay tuned for more. Thank you so much. Bye for now.